My name is Leonard Settle, and today I'll be going over most important factors of information integration theory. This is for course Sales, Negotiating, and Customer Relationship Management. For this presentation, I'll be going over developer of the information integration theory, original attitude on subject, value of new information, weight of the new information against original attitude, 6 options to changing a person's attitude. Developer of the information integration theory. The person who developed this theory is Norman H. Anderson, and he was a cognitive psychologist. Information integration theory explains and explores how attitudes are formed and changed through the integration, mixing, combining of new information with existing cognitions or thoughts. Just a brief overview, it just means that uh, you take your original thoughts and give some new information, and hopefully this new information change your original thoughts to create new thoughts. Um, the output could be positive or negative. However, it's up to that individual to determine the outcome. Original attitude on a subject. This consists of an individual's personal experience, direct observation, written record, remarks made or heard by other people. Uh, Long story short, it just means this is how someone perceives information to sort of create their own thoughts and interpretation on any matter. So it could be a pet, a vehicle, or even shoes. Value of new information. Now this is the next step after someone has their original thoughts on the topic. Now, in the information integration theory, it states that 2 important qualities on the values of new information, and this is essentially just the value of the information in itself and the weight. Now, uh, using an example, someone could like a vehicle, and with that vehicle, let's just say it's a Mercedes, a luxurious vehicle. Now, this person may have value in family safety. So if there's a recall for airbags, they may value this very high, which may change their perception on Mercedes, making it unsafe. Now, to tie in with that is the weight of that decision. So with airbags that are recalled, making the vehicle unsafe, now they combine that weight to it. So they consider that pretty high. So with the perception of the value and weight, sort of adjusts the new thoughts, which goes into the next bullet. Several co-acting stimuli are combined by an individual to produce a response, which will be covered in the next slide. This is the last step and process in the information integration theory, and it has to do with the weight of the new information against the original attitude, where it alters the original attitude. So like I was saying with the Mercedes, that person valued safety in a luxury vehicle. Now that airbags are recalled, it creates a negative value along with high weight to now change their view on the subject, which would be the Mercedes brand vehicle. Now this could be done in 2 ways, adding essentially what I sort of explained and averaging. Now, averaging is taking multiple scenarios or information and averaging that together. So let's say that individual value safety, luxury, Mercedes, just the brand. And it takes all these different factors and then average it. So what the information that individual had about Mercedes, the brand, uh, is then perceived to be favorable or non-favorable towards that individual, thus altering his original attitude or thoughts on the subject, or in this case, the auto brand maker. All right, so now there are 6 options to changing a person's attitude. And this is to increase the favorability, thus the value of a piece of existing information that supports the desired attitude. Using the Mercedes example, this person likes Mercedes, and a salesman or someone provides them with the information of Mercedes is the best brand and the safest vehicle in America, thus creating more value to that person's original attitude, and they will find Mercedes to be more favorable among other brands. Increase the weight of a piece of existing information that supports the desired attitude. So again, safety is the best in Mercedes vehicles. Never had a death. Now I'm being a little far-fetched, but just to create a clear understanding, now this individual can say, wow, Mercedes never had a death in their vehicle. And that could add a lot of weight as far as how much they value that piece of information. Decrease the favorability value of a piece of existing information that opposes the desired attitude. So if Mercedes did have airbags or safety recalls, then this will decrease the favorability, the value that this individual thinks about the Mercedes brand, and decrease the weight of a piece of existing information that opposes the desired attitude, offer a new piece of favorable information, and lastly, remind the audience about a forgotten piece of favorable information. Now, all these techniques can be used to change a person's attitude, their original perceived concepts or thoughts on a subject. And if these tactics are properly used and implemented, you can change a person's thought and attitude based on the information integration theory, which means every bit of new information alters that original thought through the 2 methods of rather adding or averaging the values and weights against the original perceived conception. These are the references that I've used, along with citations for photographs that were used in this presentation. Again, my name is Leonard Settle, and today I went over most important factors of the information integration theory.